wanted to do a shorter video about why Tesla is going to win the Robotaxi race. Just now that Tesla has officially launched the Robotaxi service in Austin, Texas, which is great. I just wanted to do a shorter video because I previously did a 10 to 20 minute video on this topic. And I went into like a lot of detail about just like the different factors and some of the data points, but just to make it like even crisper, very crisp, like the reason Tesla will win, uh, and it's essentially inevitable, is that unless something horribly goes wrong, and like terrible, like really like the only risks that I see are s- like like it taking longer than we think is not really a risk, right? Um, but if something goes horribly wrong, you have like tons of accidents or people dying um, and the service gets halted before it can even really roll out beyond one city. But I don't think that's going to happen because they're being very gradual. They're taking every precaution. Um, they're rolling it out extremely gradually, but it will ramp like kind of like an exponential, right? As they've validate safety, and the Tesla team has been doing this. It's essentially like it's no different really than like the principles they would have used to roll out autopilot years ago and FSD for the last few years, supervised FSD on the vehicles. But the reason Tesla will win a robotaxi race is fundamentally comes down to data, which is data and cost per vehicle. Um, and I would say cost per market. That would be like the third factor. Um, so data wise, Tesla is the only player that has millions of cars already on the road, and a decent percentage of them are running FSD supervised. And every time FSD supervised is engaged and makes a mistake, the driver takes over. If you like grab the wheel, take over, intervene, called an intervention, or takeover, that triggers like a feedback collection. So Tesla can get the specific video sequence, like the exact, here's what happened and here's why the driver took over. And that's feedback data that's sent to the system, and they can use that, review it, replicate it, variations of it, and then like retrain the model on every kind of failure case. So they're collecting all these failure cases already from the supervised network. Um, they're going to be able to do the same thing with the Robotaxi network, but it's just a special case, really. Like it's um, so they're the only players with millions of cars on the road already. Many of them providing um, feedback data, failure case corrections data, um, and it's running in a bunch of countries already. So it's not just like a couple. That's the supervised FSD. It's not just running in one city. It's running in a bunch of cities in different countries: U.S., Canada, Mexico, somewhere in Europe and China. Um, and so that's like the first reason. The second reason is again like the cost per vehicle. Only Tesla can make a fully integrated vehicle that can run FSD for $25,000 or less. Soon like the Cybercab will be cost to manufacture, it's a completely new manufacturing technique, unboxed process. Um, it's optimized for this. No steering wheel, no pedals. Um, it's going to be $25,000 or less to produce it, and it's just using cameras, no lidar. So it's not like the expensive sensors. It's just cameras and a computer that they make. Um, no one can compete with that. Whether if Waymo partners with whoever Waymo partners with to manufacture the cars, like they can't make a car that's less than 50,000. It's probably over $100,000 per car. So like yeah, you could say like like that cost per vehicle is amortized over like the number of miles and trips, but the fundamental thing is like it's a cheaper vehicle. Um, and I guess more importantly, like they can light up the Robotaxi unsupervised FSD on the existing fleet. So they already have, again, millions of cars on the road that are capable of running unsupervised FSD, which is Robotaxi, once it's ready. So they don't need to ship more vehicles onto the road. They can really just release a software update that makes these vehicles able to join the network and take rides autonomously, deliver rides autonomously. So those are the two main reasons. Yeah, I think like yeah, Tesla's got this in the bag, but they just need to keep rolling it out safely, monitoring the situation, and um, really safety first, which they have experience doing. Um, and yeah, I think it's going to scale a lot more quickly than people realize. It'll be slow at first, but then it will kind of scale like this. Uh, yeah, like the driving model they have is not city specific. That's like the other. That's like the third big category of reason why it's they're going to win. Waymo has and other players have to pre-map. They have to map each city. They have to go into each city, map it all out, probably train like a fine-tuned version of the model for that particular city, deploy that model onto the car for those cities. It's like, nope, Tesla can just they don't have to pre-map anything. They could just say like we're gonna run the same build of the same model um, on vehicles in this city now. So it's not like a city specific model. They might do some fine tuning for different countries where like driving behaviors and signage is totally different. That makes sense. That's just how you optimize like the accuracy and the performance. Um, but they don't have to, they don't have to go into each city. So that's another huge cost. Like, can you imagine like how expensive it is to like map every city? It's not scalable. So, yeah, like Waymos can only grow incrementally, right? At the end of the day, like Waymo can only expand the network incrementally and at a very high cost. Tesla can grow basically as fast as they want. They can scale the network as fast as they feel ready. Um, so it's going to be interesting to watch. I'm excited.